Night Basketball. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to go over today is James Harden, the all-time greatest scorer in NBA history. James Harden. Are we throwing him out there like that? Is he one of the greatest scorers of all time? Is he the greatest scorer of all time? Also, what do you think?
He's not the greatest.
Okay.
He's one of the, elite scorers in our game. When you say the greatest, you're saying he's better than Jordan, he's better than Allen Iverson, he's better than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Those are some high, mighty scorers in the game. I'm not saying they're better than James or James better than them, but it's just hard to put James ahead of such powerful names.
Right now, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is number one, but he played 20 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's Karl Malone. A lot of people don't know that. Karl Malone's number two. Then Kobe, then LeBron, then Jordan. Then it goes Dirk, Wilt Chamberlain, Shaq, Moses Malone, and Elvin Hayes rounding out the top 10 right now.
Yeah.
But James Harden is on pace. If he plays as long as Kareem did, he may pass Kareem.
Yeah. He's on pace. 20 years and still putting up big numbers, that's kind of asking a lot for a guard, especially a guard. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was 7-something feet tall, and he had the traditional legacy move.
Yeah, he had the sky hook.
He had the sky hook.
The unstoppable move. James Harden has an unstoppable move.
What is it?
Step back three. step back, travel. Step back, travel three.
step back three.
Yeah. It's unstoppable.
It's unstoppable, yes.
Is it legal? I don't know.
Exactly.
It's unstoppable.
Exactly. He's getting away with it now because the NBA loves it.
Sometimes he does it and it's legal. Sometimes he does it and it's a travel.
Exactly. And I can only imagine 5-something years, and when he's out of his prime, they're going to call that on him like, hey, pass the ball.
We'll see.
Is he one of the best? No. I think when his career is over, he will be somewhere in that top 10 list, though. Yes, but
I think he'll crack the top 10.
Yeah.
Depends on how long he plays. Really, is all.
Yeah, it really depends on how long he plays and how much. Because this game doesn't translate. A lot of guys when they're out in their prime, their game doesn't translate.
Yeah.
You can start naming names, guys.
Well, those guys are usually, their game is based on athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just using athleticism, and then they kind of die off in their later years because their athleticism goes away.
Right.
James Harden's not playing only off athleticism. He's scoring in a lot of different ways, and he is shooting a lot. So maybe he can hang on a little bit longer as a shooter. In his later years, just be a shooter, for somebody.
Yeah, well, that also means his stats are going to take a hit because he's not going to be.
They will in his later years, but he'll still be scoring and playing. I'm saying he can keep playing and keep putting up some.
What type of role do you see him filling in later years? What type of role? Compare that?
Just a shooter, Kyle Korver type of guy. Comes off screens, hits threes. Vince Carter's still playing right now.
If you want to call that playing. But
his athleticism
he's active.
Yeah.
He's active, but his athleticism is gone. And for the most part, being at the team that he's on, he's not really having to show, too much of a transition on his game. But back when he was with, let's say, back in his days in Memphis and Dallas, he wasn't too much of an above the rim type of guy, but he was more of a slasher. He'll post up. He'll hit the open shot type of player. He played a different role.
Do you think that James Harden is scoring so much now just because he's on the Houston Rockets and the system that he's in? So if he ever leaves Houston and goes to a different team, you think his numbers will go down?
Yeah, absolutely. The system has everything to do with it. If the coach allows it, then it's going to happen. So if this is what the coach D'Antoni is, if this is his system to have, D'Antoni does that with his guards. Yes, Steve Nash, his guards are the heart and soul of his offense. So when that time does come for James Harden to kind of start getting off the ball and doing other things, do I see him being a contributor? Absolutely. But do I see him still, being a big do I see him dropping as low as a third option on a team? Yes. Will he be a deadly third option? Absolutely. But the system that he's in right now is allowing him to be who he is.
It's inflating his numbers. James Harden this year had 32 games with 30 points or more. The only other person to ever do that was Wilt Chamberlain, who had 65 games of 30 plus.
Yeah.
But So basically, you think the system is inflating his numbers. He's playing in a system with Houston, and we can see that. That's allowing him to get the ball and handle the ball forever, do 25 crossovers before he drives by the guy.
Sometimes.
I mean, no other team's just going to let you do that, you know. So his numbers are being inflated a little bit by the fact that he's on the Houston Rockets.
Right. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of the announcer before during the regular season pointed it out. I forgot who it was, but he said, "Oh, I think he's manipulating the game." Well, who is it? Number one, and number two. I mean, maybe James Harden is probably overdoing it at times, but the offense he's in, the system he's running with D'Antoni is definitely allowing his stats to look, what they are, triple-double after triple-double and 60-point games and all the other.
But he is scoring. I mean, people aren't stopping him. They're trying everything they can to stop him, and he's still putting up numbers.
Yeah, he has and the key part about all his scoring are his teammates. He has teammates that can knock down shots. Ben Gordon, Gerald Green, those guys can knock down shots.
Keeps the court spread.
They keep the court spread.
Capella for the lob.
Capella. He has options around him that allow him to be who he is.
I will say that I think he's a very creative offensive player because he's done some things offensively that, in my opinion, are creative moves. Not doing a step back, but stepping sideways to shoot instead of stepping back. Doing a sideways step to shoot the three and get spacing from the defense. A lot of the moves he's doing, he's just mastered those kind of things. Mm-hmm. And the threes that he's hitting, those are hard shots. I mean, all that dribbling and then shooting a three, stepping back, stepping sideways and shooting a three.
With a hand in the face.
Those are tough shots, and he hits them consistently.
Mm-hmm. Tough. I mean, he's a confident basketball player. He's super confident offensively, so he's going to make a few shots, whether it's difficult or not. Now it's about IQ-wise. Does he have the best IQ with him on the ball? He does at times, or sometimes he doesn't. But he has the ball in his hand. When somebody has the ball in their hands that much, it's kind of hard to not see them as a dominant scorer.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think that we can throw him in to this top 5 or this top 10 list because I do think his numbers are inflated by the system that he plays in and the way he's allowed to play. Where these guys weren't allowed to play that way. Man, I mean, Jordan got to shoot, Kobe got to shoot. They got to shoot a lot of shots, but it wasn't quite the same. I mean, James Harden literally has the ball. He'll have the ball for the whole shot clock. Won't even pass it one time. 25 dribbles to the guy, falls asleep a little bit, and then he beats him to the basket. I mean, it's like, okay.
He's a different type of scorer, for sure. I mean, I've seen James Harden get the rebound, dribble it up, and then stand at top of the key and dribble 12 times before any other action is happening. It's kind of brutal to watch, but I mean,
it's hard for the basketball purists to watch. I mean, it's not great basketball.
It's not.
Basketball is a team sport, and at times he's just playing one-on-one the whole time. So sometimes it is hard to watch. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I would have to agree. I don't think he's the greatest scorer of all time. I think he's a great scorer. I think he'll go down as one of the better scorers in the NBA. But I don't think he cracks the top 10. What do you think? Well, Alvin Hayes is at 10th, and then Moses Malone is 9th. Shaq is 8th. You think he catches Shaq? He's shooting threes.
Shaq would be number 1 if he can make free throws. You know that.
If Shaq can make free throws, well, you'd have to play a little bit longer, but he's close, yeah.
Play a little longer. I think he played long. You know how many times Shaq went to the free throw line a game, probably? I mean, he's went to the free throw line maybe close to 8 times, 10 times a game.
It'd be interesting if we had a stat on that. They showed, if Shaq made 80% from the line, where would he be in scoring?
I'm pretty sure you can make that happen, but it'd be a little bit difficult. But yeah, if he can at least make 80% more of his free throws that he missed, Shaq would be number. He would have killed him. He would have X'd out Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I think. But getting back to James Harden, do I think James Harden can crack top 10 before his career's up? Yes.
What about top 5? Jordan right now sits at 5. Kareem, Karl Malone, Kobe, LeBron, Jordan.
If I say yes, only if he never made a stop in Oklahoma. Those couple years in Oklahoma slowed down James Harden's scoring.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if he was to come right in, maybe a year or two after getting drafted, straight to Houston, and all of a sudden we're seeing this amazing James Harden, then I can say yes. But right now, those years come off the bench, Oklahoma kind of slowed that down.
I think it just depends on how many years he has left and if he stays healthy. Mm-hmm. If he stays healthy, I could see him filling a role as a shooter even in his later years, and still getting still having some big games and some average games, But it just depends on where he goes next after this Houston deal, and if he can stay healthy, and if he stays in Houston and they stay with the same coach and the same system, which I think has only got a couple more years left. But it just depends on a lot of factors come into play. It depends on where he goes and can he stay healthy.
Yeah, exactly. It has a lot to do with those are the key things. Who if he's in Houston, who they surround him with. If he goes somewhere, who is he playing with? And then obviously his health. Health is wealth.
So in this era of basketball, all the numbers are inflated. All the numbers are inflated.
Everybody's eating good right now. Everybody can get the triple double. It doesn't matter who.
Yeah.
That's just how I see. You're right, Theo.
Yeah.
Hey, follow us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. Day and Night Basketball. We appreciate all support.